Right.
Why does proposing have to have a masculine or feminine title?
But what about the tradition or just the roles that the woman is supposed to be pampered? Someone is getting in front of me on one knee, holding out a beautiful ring. Every woman desires that.
Yeah, well, what if I desire my woman going on both knees?
Both.
But you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Oh, I can. Hey guys, welcome to D8te Table. I'm Amanda.
You know the vibes, it's Rico.
And thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube. If you see a video you like on Instagram, please show us the love. We are independent, so we appreciate all the love you guys give to us. So, on today's episode, we are going to be talking about a topic that's a little controversial.
It's my favorite topic, go ahead.
So Rico, let them know.
The topic that we're going to be talking about is why should a woman propose to a man? Which, I mean, you kind of already know how I feel about this. You know, I definitely believe that women should propose to a man, or a man should propose to a woman too, but I think that whoever wants to get married should be the one to do it. 9 times out of 10, women want the man to marry them. I don't really see like a man pressuring a woman to get married often. I really see women pressuring men to marry them. Oh, you want a family? Oh, you want to do this? I need a ring. I need a house, I need a ring. Well, if you really want a ring that bad, why don't you take the initiative? So I think that a woman proposing to a man is just more empowering for a woman, if you ask me. She's going to be the one to say, now we're getting married because I want to take it to the next step. Instead of sitting back and waiting for a man to be like, okay, fine, I finally want to marry you. And 9 times out of 10, a man just only marrying that girl to get whatever he wants next. If he wants a family and she's not going to let him have a family, like my best friend wants a family, his girl would not allow him to pursue that with unprotected sex until she got a ring. So he was almost forced to engage her just so he could start his family. But to me, that sounds nutty, because if you really want him to marry you that bad, why don't you propose?
Okay, so I see where your mindset is at, right? But I'm gonna tell you like this. For a woman to be the one to propose, she's the one giving off that masculine energy, like we talked about a couple weeks ago. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like women also value tradition. That's how it's been done for years. And also, it's okay for a man not to want to get married as quickly as women, because like you said, women are always waiting around for the man to propose, but you have to be on the same page. If the woman feels like the man isn't ready yet, I feel like they're not going to be like, okay, well, I'm ready, will you marry me? And be in like this weird situation where they don't even know what the answer will be.
I mean, listen, I'll be honest with you. In today's world, women pressure men to marry them. That's what happens. Women pressure men to marry them, so then that way, I don't know, I can't speak why women do that.
I feel like it happens a lot, but don't say in today's world. I
mean, it's been happening, but here's my problem, right? You know, you bake and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Oh, I can.
But here's my problem with it, right? Women value tradition when it's in their benefit. So they value tradition when it comes to a man having to propose to them. But they won't value a traditional man when he says, hey, you got to sit in the house and cook and clean. So, like, you can't pick and choose the parts of the tradition that you're going to stick by and stand by. If you're going to be open-minded, you have to be open-minded to all.
But what about the tradition or just the roles that the woman is supposed to be pampered? The woman is supposed to be, taken care of.
She is getting taken care of.
Okay, yeah, but then, yeah, she wants to be the one to be surprised with this question in a grand way. Like, every woman wants that.
I don't even think women even get surprised about marriage nowadays.
Okay, that could be true, because before a marriage proposal, I feel like every couple has to have a conversation to know whether they're even going towards that. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's not so much of a surprise, but it is the gesture. It is the grand gesture that they're being proposed to. Someone is getting in front of me on one knee, holding out a beautiful ring. Every woman desires that.
Yeah, well, what if I desire my woman going on both knees?
Both.
And like, because I wouldn't want her to be on one knee. Honestly, if a woman was to propose to me, the way I would see that it would look like is she would be on both of her knees or some type of sitting down gesture. And like, you know what it is? Here's my thing, right? People take tradition and they only take tradition from the Romance era, but they don't go before the Romance era and take that tradition where the king was getting bowed to. So if I believe that I'm a king, I don't find no wrong in a woman bowing down to me, especially if I have to provide for her the rest of her life. I got to go out and I got to make all of these sacrifices to make sure that she and our family is taken care of. I just can't get that one grand gesture of appreciation.
You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I knew you were going to go that route.
Yeah,
this whole king.
You know what I'm saying?
I knew that as soon as you said on both knees. Because what do you think this is? This is not slavery. Like,
it's not, but women get on both knees to please me anyways. So what's the difference?
Oh, sexually, there's a difference though. Like, we're both trying to please each other equally in the bedroom.
No.
But I feel like, yes.
Now when she's on her knees, there's only one person getting pleased. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she's on her knees, I'm the one getting pleased. She might be pleasing herself because she's a pleaser and that turns her on, right? But what I'm trying to say is she gets on her knees anyways for other things. So my thing is, this is nothing that's a shock. This is nothing that's new. When there's two women in a relationship and they get married, there's a woman that proposes to the woman, right?
That is true.
So why is it okay for a woman to propose to a woman, but a woman can't propose to a man?
But I'm also going to tell you like this. Even in a two-woman relationship, we are setting roles here. So there is the spouse that is the more masculine, and there's the spouse that's the more feminine. And I'm going to expect that the more masculine female is going to be the one to propose. Now, that doesn't always have to be the case, because even in heterosexual relationships, yeah, very few times women do propose to their man. And the feminine woman might propose to the more masculine woman. But it's all in timing. It's all in y'all's specific relationship. I don't feel like this should be done.
Let's take this idea, right? You're saying there's a masculine role and there's a feminine role, right?
Right.
Why does proposing have to have a masculine or feminine title? Why can it not just be an open-minded title for the person that loves that person? Why do we have to put the fact that somebody's proposing to somebody in a masculine status when it could just be anything? If I love my girl and I'm like, hey, I want to take the initiative to get married, I take the knee. If a woman loves her man and she wants to take the initiative for them to get married, she should take the knee. It should not be a masculine or a feminine thing.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the perfect scenario of you being proposed to?
I don't know. I don't have the
Can you imagine it?
Like, I can imagine it happening, but I can't give you like a perfect scenario. Like, there would just be a woman who has probably bought a ring of some sort, and I wouldn't be sitting here handing my finger out like this. Nah, I wouldn't do that. But if a woman got on both knees and said, hey, I would love to be your wife, you know what I'm saying, will you allow me to be your wife? I'd be like, of course. I'll pick her up, then I'll see the ring, and I'll put the ring on, and then boom, boom, boom.
But you know what? I know some guys that would see their woman do that and feel emasculated.
I feel like that just has to do with them. Then I can't speak for everybody, because there's some guys who would trick on a female. And I feel like that's emasculating, but they could feel like that's empowering for them. So like, I can't speak on everybody, but I do know that there's a lot of men who actually have gotten proposed to. Like, you know, I actually Googled this before. And just type in like women proposing to men. There's many photos with different women and different men where there's women proposing to their husband.
Of course there are. It happens.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, not everyone has the same feelings about it. Because I know that some guys have way too much pride to let that happen.
But some guys have way too much pride to get on the knee.
There is a fear of rejection in proposing to a man. And that is why females will not take that risk. If you guys have not spoke about marriage prior to, or you guys know that that's the direction you guys are heading in your relationship, then they're not going to take that risk, because there is a chance that he's going to say no. And I watched this Netflix movie just the other day, and the woman in a restaurant got up and the whole restaurant was watching, And he was sitting down like, yo, what the fuck you doing? Like, sit down. And she's like, say yes, I have the ring, everyone's watching. And it was like, how embarrassing, because he said no. He said no, and one, now she's embarrassed. She's not getting married, and now the relationship is over. Because are you going back to a man that just rejected your marriage proposal? How comfortable are you going to be going back into a relationship where I'm suggesting that we move forward? Not suggesting, I'm proposing that we move forward to be together forever. And you told me no.
Why is it that, like, okay, you women have fear of rejection, but a guy's fear of rejection is just kicked to the side? Because there's many women that tell a man no in front of all different types of crowds. Usually men go above and beyond for this proposal. Maybe he takes her to a nice restaurant, maybe he does it in front of both families, and she still tells him no. So why are we downplaying, like, okay, cool, because a girl has a fear of rejection? You think men don't have fear of rejection?
Let me tell you the difference. More women are inclined to say yes. And it's really always on the guy's end that you have to make sure that he is ready. I feel like the woman is always ready. That's what she wants. So that's why it's in the best interest that you guys are the ones to propose, because that lets us know that you're ready. This is what you want as well. So when you do propose, it's a yes. Oh my God.
But like,
we're all excited, we're cheering, we're celebrating.
If I was so ready and you were so ready, then divorce would not be at 50%. So realistically speaking,
things happen, life happens.
But here's my
That's
thing.
not about not being ready to get married.
No, it does, because in a marriage there is a commitment through thick and thin and rich and poor. So no matter what's going on in our relationship, we are married, we are bonded together, we're supposed to supersede that. So a man taking the initiative and a girl's more inclined to say yes, that means to me there's more inclined to be more mistakes and more divorces. But if women started to proposing to men and men were saying no, then that lets you both know that you're not on the same playing field. I mean, realistically, going into any type of, engagement blind is, I don't recommend it on either side. Men have to deal with the rejection too. So I don't want anybody to try to downplay the fear of rejection on a man versus a woman. I think that women might take more L's than men, right? There's a lot of women, I feel like, sometimes just get too emotional and they might feel like their man is about to leave them, so they try to propose, right? And then that's the wrong way to do it. They might take more L's than men. However, it's actually for their benefit, because the way I see it is, if somebody's going to tell you no, then maybe if he does propose to you whenever he's ready, you're going to have that fallout at some point in time regardless. So I think that we probably have a lot less divorce rate, because there'll be a lot more of a bond and a commitment if women actually start to take the initiative, and maybe they do have to take that L now so they don't take an L later. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like the fact that you brought up divorce, can go a whole nother way, you know what I'm saying? Because why do guys propose in the first place if they're just gonna cheat?
Because you wanted it. We didn't want it. Women wanted it. Women their whole lives are like, I want a family and I want a marriage. I want a family, I want a marriage. They hit 25, 30, they go through this midlife little crisis where they want a family. Oh my God, I don't have a ring or a baby. What the hell am I doing? What's wrong with me? So then they start pushing it on men. And then next thing you know, we've only been dating for 8 months, but you love me so much that you can see yourself with me for the rest of your life. And now you want to be married.
Well, I feel like in that situation specifically, that's on the guy. You got to know exactly what marriage means. So that's a leave or marry.
All right.
And that sounds like a leave to me, because 8 months, that's too quick.
Yeah, I'm just saying, someone would be bugging.
So ladies, I'm not saying don't propose to a guy, but if you guys know that marriage is what you both want, go for it. But if you're not sure if he's ready and you don't know what the answer will be, I don't suggest you take that risk.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm going to say this to ladies and fellas, don't let society or the past tradition cloud what you want in your life. If you're a woman and you want to have a marriage with your man or with your woman, take that initiative. Don't fear rejection and just go after what you truly want despite what everybody else may say or think. If you're a man and your girl proposes to you, you're a little nervous, but you know you love her, I say go for it, take that chance, say yes.